Um, Morning, everyone. Welcome to Cardano Q&A. We are in the middle of a recent slump in ADA in particular. So enthusiasm drops, but the activity and new functions, new utility just keeps increasing. And there's more and more things that we need to do towards decentralization and governance of the blockchain. So those are sort of bits I've got to talk about, but I haven't got a lot to talk about. So the more questions we can handle today, the better.
Yeah, so any reason why this dip in ADA is quite drastic, I thought? Is any particular reason apart from what Luca mentioned earlier, or all coins going down? I understand, but it's just like I was a bit shocked to see 3 point something, 0.36 was it, something like that.
Yeah, down to 30p. It is a fairly deep retraction, but it's nothing exceptional if you look back at the past. And the reason for shakeouts like this are really to try and, in my opinion, it's to try and get the bulk of the coins, any of the coins out there that are looking successful, looking like they have a future, into the hands of the few. So if you sell now because you're scared of the prices, then it's an attempt to make you do that, where more people can then accrue, or fewer people can then accrue more of it for cheaper. And that's sort of just the way that markets work. You're always trying to be shaken out. The people with less are trying to be shaken out by the people with more. So there's no reason to expect that crypto markets or decentralized finance will operate any differently to the mass markets, global economics behavior that we see in Wall Street and so on and so forth. So do expect dips and retractions, but maintain an eye on the long term and on the fundamentals of any blockchain. We're down from, it was about 55 pence to 30 pence.
Yeah.
But at the start of the year, we were down at 20. So we're still up, and the bull cycle hasn't really kicked off yet. And we have more and more money flowing from fiat into crypto than ever. So it's just a matter of time for markets to respond to the price action to respond to the market activity that's actually going on. So there's a few things we can look at to check on the health of the chain and what might be an indicator for the future, which I think is worth looking at. Any thoughts from you on it?
Yeah, I guess it's a good time to buy it, I suppose, right?
It's very true. Yeah. If you still believe in the future of digital currencies and decentralized finance, then yeah, it's just another buying opportunity. But of course, like anything, you have to keep in mind that whatever you buy, if you're looking to buy at volume, then you've got to think in a sort of 4 to 6 year time cycle. It may be that we don't see the price action this bull cycle to make you warrant selling. So then you're looking to hold it till the next one comes around, which will be 4 years' time. It's just, looking back at the past and judging the future. So bear that in mind whenever you're buying anything, investing. Can I really hold this asset for 4 years without worrying about, without needing to access it? And that mindset will keep you safe and hopefully save you from having to sell at a low. So yeah, don't ape in, but also be mindful if you have funds on the side, it's a good time to buy any. So I'm just trying to get up a chart so we can have a look at previous prices. Actually, let's go into British pounds because we're all British on this call now. Mhm. So this is looking at the chart on a 4-hour breakdown. So you can see that this is October 23. Prices were down at 0.19. And so now they're up at 0.30. Think of it like that, you're fine. What you're hurting over is that we've been up to actually we even hit 0.63 in March.
Yeah.
So we are still early in the bull cycle. What's that, 4-year cycle? So we're right at the start of the price appreciation. So do you think we'll see this again, 0.63? I think that's very easy to understand, to believe. And then if we zoom out, take it to the daily, this is where we were 4 years ago. So September 21, or 3 years ago, we were up at 2.25, £2.25. And so, we could easily see that again. Still, it's just a matter of being patient, not selling, and yeah, not getting desperate. And on each cycle, there are periods where there's appreciation and then huge drop-offs. So, if you look, and the idea is just if we were sitting here in, that is July of 2021, then you'd think it's all over. We've had our peak when it hit 1.7, and now it's dropped all the way back down to 0.75. But actually, this was a bull cycle, not even started yet. It then went on to do the full run up, which all happened within June, July, 2 months, month and a half, something like that. So we're at the same point now. We've had a big pump. Then possibly in 4, 6 weeks, 2 months, we could be well over where we were previously. So we could be back up. Here, we could be breaking up previous all-time highs. So yeah, we've got a long way to go still in terms of price movement, but as an example of the craziness of markets, I wanted to have a quick look at the latest meme coin that sprung up on Cardano. Now, I don't talk about meme coins as any kind of investment. I just want to represent to you the insanity that humans hold over over price movement and what can happen in a very short space of time. So I jump over to Twitter on 17th. So that was Monday. There was a tweet from Charles Hoskinson. He has lots and lots of different businesses. So one of them is that he runs a ranch where he has buffalo and he's got stables and so on. And he's just acquired one animal, which was a very unhealthy pig. So he took a picture of it and said, "Fun fact, I have a pig named Nike." He's called it Nike. This is Charles Hoskinson, founder of Cardano, billionaire, has a ranch, bought a pig, and he tweeted out a picture of the pig because he thought people would find that amusing, a nice thing to see. People did. People really liked it so much they created a meme coin with a picture of that pig, and within 12 hours, thousands of people had invested in that meme coin. to the point where in 12 hours it had liquidity of $1 million. So in
$1 million, did you say?
$1 million,
Oh.
$1 million worth of money were used to buy a coin that's a picture of a pig with no other redeeming features other than that it's a picture of a pig taken by Charles Hoskinson. uh, so if you think that there's $1 million sitting on the sidelines waiting to be spent on a pig token, think about the amount of money that's actually sitting there waiting to buy serious coins when they think the price is gonna has dropped to the bottom and it's gonna rise again. If you have that mindset, there's insanity. There's millions of dollars on the sidelines all the time, waiting to buy opportunities as soon as a little guy is squeezed out. That's what's available.
So, Jonathan, so if I'm trying to understand technicality here. So, Charles Hoskin's that picture been tweeted in Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody else made the like meme coin after that, isn't it? It's not Charles Hoskin. Somebody else made meme coin. So who'll have like I don't know, copyright, or what do you say? Who goes that all the money that made from that meme coin? Is it Charles Hoskin or the person who made it? And who's real benefit of that?
The person who made it. So if you like Charles Hoskinson, I suppose has copyright over the picture of the pig, but he's not going to try and take control of that token. He's not interested in it at all, other than that it baffles him and keeps him, up at night, because he's got to be careful now about what he talks about. People can take something that, a high profile Twitter account like his, he's got lots of followers. They can take something that he says in just something he finds interesting, something he wants to share with the world. He's got nearly 1 million followers, 980,000 followers on Twitter, and they'll see that as an opportunity to make money. And so it could have been me. I could have taken that picture of a pig, which Charles Hoskinson posted, and minted a token, native token on Cardano with a set amount of supply. I was the sole holder of all that token, and then I could put it onto exchanges and say I'm going to put up, I don't know, £1,000 of ADA, and there's a billion Nike tokens to buy. Let's just let people start trading, and so people then will start swapping their ADA for some Nike meme coins, which means that the liquidity, the amount of volume in pig coin trading has gone up. And there's ADA flowed into that market cap. So now you've got a billion, or, if someone bought 1,000 or, 500,000 pig tokens for 100 ADA, then that means that's how much 500,000 pig tokens are worth in that sell, in that transaction. Somebody else sees someone buying it, and they then take some ADA to buy more, but the price has gone up in the meantime. So they need to spend more ADA to get 500,000 tokens of the pig coin. And once they make that purchase, the price goes up again. So it might be that within a short space of time, you're having to spend 250,000 ADA to buy 500,000 Nike tokens. And that crazy price appreciation is what happens at the launch of a token. Go on, Anna, sorry.
And then what do they do after that? They just hold on to their pig token, or they try and sell it, or what? I don't. Yeah.
So they're going to be by far the biggest holder of that token because they created it. And so once the price gets up to somewhere that they think they can extract some value, can sell some to the market, then they're just accruing ADA all the time from it. And
but what about the people who buy the pig token? They put ADA in to buy the pig token. Do they then sell the ADA or sell the pig token? Or
they're hoping for the price to go up, yes. And then when things get to a point where I think the price action is going to start going down again, then they'll sell. And then that's what causes the price to dump. So they sell their pig token, they get their ADA back out times 1,000, and they're sitting really pretty. They're really happy because they've become 1,000 times richer than they were at the start of the escapade. But everybody else then starts to sell their token, starts to sell theirs, and they're getting a little worse price every time they sell. And so the person that is left holding the bag of pig tokens has lost out because they may have bought it when the price was much higher than they were then able to sell it for. And so then maybe they hold on to it and hope that the price of pig token goes back up again, and eventually it does. And so that's a craziness of the market. If we look here at the chart for the token, so this is the price. This is the price action for the token since Monday.
Did you buy any?
No, I don't do meme coins. I think I call them greed coins. So they're really they're all about just trying to get rich, which is not something to chase after, because we like chasing the wind. You need to just make decisions based on stuff that you know, not on speculative jokes. It's a quick way to get very burnt if you're not careful. I mean, you could put, if you like betting on dogs and you like, horse racing and you're willing to put 50 quid into it, then yeah, that's the same thing. That's something you could perhaps do, put 50 quid into pig coins. Whether you get your money back out or not is, kind of pointless. It's the fun of it being involved. But if you can't spare 50 quid, which, I don't think I can at the moment, why throw it on something that's going to come down at some point? So anyway, 17th, 5 o'clock, it was worth 0.00003. And here we are today. It's worth 100 times that, or is it 1,000 times that? 1,000 times that. So
I can't see what it's worth. What's it worth now?
So it's now worth 0.02. Sorry. So yeah, we've gone from 0.00003 to 0.01 even to 0.02. So yeah, if you bought down at these prices, then you're sitting very pretty at the moment, and the enthusiasm for the token just seems to be going up. The chances are the price will rise again for a bit. The market cap for the token is still growing, so there's still more money pouring into it. So we've got $1 million in 12 hours. Just have a quick look, see what it's at now. That tool's updated a couple of weeks back. I'm not quite so happy with the user interface yet. Not greatest still. So the market cap is now at 24 million ADA. So it's like $12 million in 3 days.
Yeah. So I still don't get it. The idea is like, okay, so anybody can create a meme coin, right? I may have popular sort of like I took a picture somewhere maybe, and I had this published in a website or something. Somebody take that picture, they create a meme coin, let's say, and I don't have any say in onto that, saying, look, you took my picture, pay me money. Can I do that? Or it's just like if people just literally can.
If you want to pursue them in the courts, then you can do that, yeah. So you have copyright over the photographs you take and the artwork you create, and so you'd have to issue a legal claim against them, copyright over that image. But are you going to get anything out of it? Are the court's going to take you seriously, or if you got the money to put into a legal battle, the months and years that can take? And will the judge see your side at the end of it, or do you just take a picture that we're just in a public place and nobody has real ownership of anything. And the other person could have taken a picture at the same point at the same time and come up with a similar thing. You know, it's all just, yeah, hard to enforce rules.
Yeah, I can basically, same pig, right? Same Nike. So I can trick a little bit of color or something like that, and I could create that as my, anonymous coin as well, right?
Yeah, you could.
And then,
And we do
okay,
see that a lot. We see one coin spark up, and there'll be a slight variant on it. So we had Husky token.
yeah,
It's one of the oldest meme coins on Cardano, and straight after it there was Baby Husky, and
yeah.
all these little variants of it, with people just hoping that it'll ride that same wave of enthusiasm for meme token. But it's a indicator of insanity in humans, in my opinion. I mean, this token is now up in 30 days. So since it started, it's up 45,000%. So if you do create one and it resonates with the community and they all start buying it, then yeah, you can make a lot of money. But yeah, whose money are you taking? Are you taking money you can live with, or are you just bleeding a community on the basis of a joke? Yeah, but yeah, do be thinking about that. There, when you're feeling nervous and down about your investments, think, there's a whole load of money sitting there in wealthy people's hands who are willing to throw it on an opportunity as soon as they see it. So, £12 million, $12 million of money has just bought a pig token that was created 4 days ago. So anything serious comes along, we could also have a purchase there. So yeah, keep hold of your investments that you think were a good thing in the beginning. Don't sell when you see dips like this, unless you're trading to get back in again at an even lower price point. But if you're analyzing the chart at the moment, then the price peaked at up here, it's come back down, and we've got this large zone where we saw this big price movement out, and we broke previous recent highs. And so there's probably a lot of people who had trades on looking to buy it around this price point. So we did dip down to the bottom portion of this zone, but it popped back straight back up again. And so whether it's got enough downward momentum to get through this zone, I suspect not. So I think we'll probably bottom out here and then head on up, back up again. But again, you're playing with the insanity of the human mind. Who knows what will really happen? It's just guesswork. Informed guesswork, but guesswork. Cool. So, any more questions on that?
Yeah, in a card, in one, remind me. I think you definitely mentioned that before as well. This, if I buy ADA somewhere else, like for example, I know you voting. You need to, for voting, you need to have ADA in your own wallet. Can I have in exchange somewhere like for example, Nexo? Let's say if I have ADA in Nexo, can I do any voting from there, or I need to transfer that to my like my own wallet?
Yes. When you're using Nexo, it's a centralized exchange. You don't have control of the keys, so you can't take any of the benefits of holding ADA yourself. You're just hoping that they will offer you a higher rate of return than you can get in the DeFi markets. So yeah, you can't vote with it. You don't have any say over that ADA. And in fact, any ADA that is sitting on exchanges can be used by those exchanges in the government votes. So if you are looking at a governance token like ADA is, then you are effectively relinquishing your voting power, your decision-making power, into the hands of a private company, private entity, to use that for whatever means they want. So if they did participate in voting, Binance, for example, has 63 saturated stake pools, or more than that, saturated stake pools. Each of them with 70 million ADA in them. That's an awful lot of ADA that they could use to vote and really sway the future of the chain. So I always encourage everyone to get your ADA into a self-sovereign wallet. And if you do want to find more ways of earning than just the native fluid staking token, fluid staking on that Cardano has, not fluid pool, although that is part of it, you can actually just look at DeFi. So maybe it's providing liquidity, yield farming, lending, borrowing. All these are alternative ways of earning through holding crypto that will get you higher rates of return than you would earning stake on centralized exchanges, whilst also retaining the ability to participate in votes and so on and so forth in many cases.
And the stake is normally your one is 5%, right? Something like that. And 5%.
So certainly, yeah. When we started the pool 2 years ago, the rate of return was about between 5.2 and 6%, a maximum return, and that is diminishing all the time. So at the moment, the maximum rate of return from liquid staking on Cardano is probably about 3.2% APR.
Yeah.
So you're
that's surprised me a little bit because like in Nexo they provide 8% for ADA.
Yeah, but that's a private company that has got all, so you're looking at a difference between a private company that's in it to make money and a blockchain that's looking to run the financial, to become the financial operating system of the world. So we've got very different long-term perspectives. ADA Cardano is created to bring about stable, secure blockchain utility, and it has the only way it can make money is by attracting value into itself, and so the more it pays out to run its infrastructure, the less money it has to grow things. And so it's like it's more like a nation than a bank, effectively. So Nexo would be more like a bank, where it's going to offer high rates of return on its interest accounts, hoping that everybody puts their money in with them. Then they'll take all the money that people, this is what the banks do, they take all the money that people give them and they will lend it out to the ratio of 10 to 1. So Nexo are likely taking the ADA that you've given them and earning 20%, 40%, 100% APR on the ADA that you've given them, and that's their business model. They're giving you 8% to attract you away from earning 5% or whatever you can get in staking on Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, Algorand, which are more like a country. They're trying to manage their accounts, their economics. They can offer a rate of return that will be enough to attract people in to run their ecosystem, run the infrastructure, but no more. And so the activity on the chain, particularly in Cardano, also contributes to how much that rate of interest is. So if we've got more people transacting on Cardano, then the staking returns goes up again. So we could see, the staking returns go back up to 5-6% if the chain is really busy and there's lots of people transacting on it. But when it's quiet, when we're in a slump like we are now, the rate of return does drop accordingly. And this is ADA being given away from the reserves, from the treasury. And so the treasury is only created from the transaction fees that are the blockchain can generate. And so you transact on the chain, portion of that goes into the treasury, portion of that treasury goes out to pay staking rewards to attract more people in. And that's the ecosystem that we're operating. Nexo, their only agenda is to make money. So if they get people to give them their money, they can make 40%. And then give away 8%. They're still, 32% up. So yeah,
Yeah,
you will probably find
how
rates.
they can make 40% in that's surprising, baffled me. Like I know it's figurative, but making that much money to give 8%, I was a bit surprised because
It's very straightforward. I can show you that in DeFi, and I do show you that in DeFi. So if you are a long-term holder, you're wealthy, you don't have any qualms about the future of the ecosystem, then for example, you come into why is this not showing me taking? Am I filtering? Yeah, let's take this off. So we go to Nexo, we give them our ADA. They take half the ADA and buy a stable coin with it. So they buy USDM, something like that, and they buy some JED. And so that's a stable coin paired with a stable coin. So each of those are redeemable. Any JED you hold, any USDM you hold are redeemable for $1 each. So you buy $1 of JED, you can redeem it for $1. You buy $1 of USDM, eventually you'll be able to redeem it for $1. At the moment, it's got a fee on it, so yeah, 90 cents, something like that. But if you're buying and holding, like Nexo will be, then you can just buy those tokens, take those pairs, put them into this liquidity pool on MinSwap, and earn 31.68% APR all day, every day. But so long as people have given you that liquidity, then you can put it into a liquidity pool like this and earn significant rates of return higher than the rewards you're offering to the Nexo stakers. And this is a small picture of what the banks are doing with your money. They're leveraging it out, 10 times. So their rates of return will be 10 times, or their capital to play with is 10 times what they're given. And if they're participating in the Wall Street equivalents of this stuff, then they're earning, 40% easily. And all the techniques that were shown in IAW, those high return, high risk investment opportunities. You've got Cashbox, banks borrowing money from investors earning rates of return of about 20%. The banks are making much more than that 20% they're returning through Cashbox. They're earning, probably 100% on the money that we give them. So if you understand the finance, understand markets, and you can get people to trust you to give you their money, you can make much more money. And that's the system we're in. The money flows upwards. So fewer and fewer people getting richer and richer. So if you can get yourself into a position where you can participate in that, then that's great. If you can't, and you are, having to manage your risk, you want a rate of return, then you can go and get the highest rate of return you can. But in the meantime, you're giving away the ability to vote with that money, to spend it, you're empowering individuals other than yourself to use that money. And that's the reality of of the money system. And so, yeah, don't be surprised when Nexo can offer you 8% when they have equal access to this, 31% as you do. But you're more risk averse. You maybe don't understand the depths of the technology. You haven't got people employed. You can sit and watch it all day, every day, when to get in, when to get out. If the price does move, if there's some technical problem with the tokens, then yeah, you have to pick where your risk is, how much returns you are, picking who you trust, and giving away the power of that money. And DeFi really is the modern equivalent where you can actually be the bank. You can go in and participate in providing liquidity to people who want to trade in these stable coins instead and earn that 30%. But yeah, it's very doable. It's not complicated. And I can show you example on example on example. It's just whether you are willing to do the learning, do the education, risk your bags, and really, the safe play for me and this whole ecosystem is to be a provider, come in and try and grow the decentralized finance portion of things, because that is where I see the opportunities are for the average individual. Like, this is open to you, this is open to me. It's also open to the banks. The banks are participating, I'm sure, but we can participate on a much more level playing field, where the rules are written into code, and that code is written into the blockchain, and the blockchain can't be changed. Now, that is a much more secure way of running a investment portfolio than handing your money over to a private enterprise that might end up to be the next FTX. Where they're holding your money, if they mismanage the funds and they go bust, your money goes with them. If you put your money into a smart contract on one of these exchanges, then they can't go bust. The money's in there. There could potentially be an exploit, but we are, 2.5 years down the road, and these min swap contracts have all been fine. There's been no exploit across the whole Cardano ecosystem. It's a really stable ecosystem to participate in. And then you're just, battling with the insanity of the human mind and the human emotion, the investor's mind, same as everybody else. But you have the opportunity there in front of you, without having to give your funds away to an individual. You're giving it into a contract, a computer code contract, and that's where the future lies, I hope, because it makes it open to us. Is that
so this site that you're showing, it's a sort of a more risky DeFi, is that correct? And then I remember last time you were talking about safer places to invest in Cardano.
yes.
Can you bring up some of those, if that's okay?
Yep, sure. So rates of return and rates of risk always inversely correlated. So if you want, now this is taking two stable coins which have got fairly large market caps and put them into a token pair for liquidity is a very, very safe way of doing it, and that's a really high rate of return. So pretty good. Certainly less risky than what else have we got on here? So another popular one might be ADA, paired with.
If this is a good one, maybe can you type in the URL to find?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, actually, you can't link directly to that token pair by URL. So you'd have to come in and investigate it just on this filter page. So come to minswap.org/farm and then filter for USD, and then you're looking for the JED stablecoin paired with the USDM stablecoin, and these are dollar pairing. So the safety I'm saying is in these is that you can take, if you decide to get out of this, you can take your liquidity back out of this farm and redeem your JED for $1, and you can redeem your USDM for $1, and you'll have bought them for $1 each as well. So that's the safety. You're still relying on the security and safety of the dollar ultimately, which in contrast to crypto is very volatile. US dollars are much more stable because they're the reserve currency. And so if you trust the dollar, then you can get into this pair and have fairly good security safety. That's if you trust the dollar as being a good store of value. If actually you actually think ADA is more secure store of wealth, long-term value, and will go up against the dollar in the short, long term, then you might say, I don't want to be holding dollar equivalents. I want to be holding ADA equivalents. So you might pair ADA with a stable coin. So ADA USDM you can get 7% ADA USD, 12% ADA JED. So that sort of reduced your exposure to US dollars partially by holding half of it in ADA. But again, you're not risking all your stuff on ADA. Whereas if you then went through, okay, let's pair ADA with Kobe tokens, which is a game, and get 12% with that, or Book tokens, which is an NFT project. You could pair and get 25% return with that. Or if you like Oracle's token Fact, you can come and get 29% by pairing ADA with Fact tokens. But these are all riskier in terms of they don't have the same volume tied up in them. The world isn't buying and selling ADA to participate in the oil trade or paying salaries in these tokens yet en masse. But that might be the future. And in the meantime, the price of the value of those of the dollar will probably flow into these tokens in some way, shape, form. But yeah, thinking about your timeline, your investment priorities, that's one to do. But yeah, that stablecoin point is very interesting to look at. If you're interested, if you think ADA actually, I've bought this much ADA, that's how much I'm willing to hold, as long as I can maintain that amount of ADA with no further risk, then that's fine. So you could say, let's take that ADA and look at the best earning opportunity from it. I don't want to be exposed to the depreciation of the dollar or anything like that. I want to benefit from the rise of ADA in this bull cycle. So you're looking to make the most from ADA, in which case I would not perhaps come to here. I would have a look at Optim bonds, Optim Finance. And to me, this is one of the most secure ways of earning a rate of interest that's higher than liquid staking return for a fixed period of time. So in here, there are bonds people are asking to borrow your ADA, and they'll give you a rate of return on it. Fortunately, looking down these rates of return, they're all very low at the moment, so it's probably not an opportunity here. But last time we looked at it, there was a 6%, 6.5%, I think. Oh, it might be 4.5%. But even still, 4.5% is better than the 3.2 we're getting from liquid staking at the moment. So you could just lock your ADA into this smart contract, and you'll be guaranteed to earn ADA back on top of the ADA you're holding at a rate of this. Here these rates are 0.2, 0.7, so even lower than the lending rate that the staking rate that you get just by liquid staking. So none of these are really worthwhile, and these are probably set up for people doing them for other purposes. So none of those are worth participating in necessarily, just for their rate of return. You can keep an eye on this page though, and bonds will come up every now and then where you can get in on them. So if we looked at this bonds page, these active bonds, yeah, 4.2%, 4.36. And these ones have already been filled. So people have put their ADA into these, and they're earning that 4% quite easily. I got into one a year ago and was earning 7%. So there are nice rates of return available, higher than the just staking rates that you could participate in instead of liquid staking. But your ADA is locked up. It's there for the duration of the bond, but it's a very stable, very secure way of getting more ADA back on the ADA you're holding. So it's as good as staking to me, almost as good as staking. And the beauty of this platform is that you can participate in governance still. So you can still use the ADA that you put in to vote and participate in the decision making of the direction we take the chain. So yeah, that to me one of the best opportunities out there if you're looking for more than just the 3% from liquid staking. It's not as high obviously as the providing liquidity on some of the dexes like this one. But yeah, it's a good opportunity. And you know, where we talk about Nexo, they've probably got some very switched on traders who are using opportunities like this, and then also going for the maximum returns, which may be running trading bots or trading algorithms on platforms like Axo. So then they'll be buying SNEC meme coin, participating in the trading volume for the day, and earning maybe 5% a day return on their holdings, because they're full-time traders. And so this Axo trading platform lets you do set up algorithms of your own design that will trade any token you want. And SNEC is the largest trading volume token on Axo. And so if you wanted to go full-time, just make it your day job, then you can learn how to create algorithms, trading algorithms, run them on an Axo platform, and make a living. So trading volume 61,000 ADA in 24 hours. So out of that, if you can get a portion of that into your pockets, that's a good rate. That'd be plenty of volume to get a good rate of return. But yeah.
So is that AXIO, and it's a trading platform?
AXO, yeah, and it's a trading platform. So it's a decentralized exchange. It's the most powerful one available on Cardano, possibly the most powerful one in DeFi. It doesn't have a lot of volume yet, so these trading pairs aren't at the same volume as they are on MinSwap. But you can still find ones with decent volume: 70 million in SNEC, 46 million in IAG token, 158 in World Mobile token. And so amongst there, there's some trading volume going on, and out of that trading volume, you can earn a portion by participating in the trades if you're a good trader. But yeah, that's another way of making it. And so Nexo will be making their 40%, their 60% on their token, that they're on the ADA that you've given them in platforms like this and others. Yeah, that's the way that DeFi works, and then they can afford to give you that 8% at a time. One other.
So this is on the Cardano blockchain.
Yes. Yeah, everything I've shown you today has been on the Cardano blockchain. So it is a very broad ecosystem with a lot of really powerful apps now. And this is the huge difference between Cardano and the other altcoins, which are suffering at the moment, but we're still looking to do better than Bitcoin in this bull cycle. Is that Cardano didn't have any smart contracts, didn't have no decentralized exchanges, just had a few NFTs, and it had staking rewards at this point in the last cycle, so 4 years ago. It didn't have any of this technology, and none of these platforms existed. And this time around, this bull cycle, it's got the most, one of the most powerful, technologically capable feature sets of any of the blockchains. So it's stronger than Solana and Algorand and Polkadot even, and they've had a lot of these features for longer. So with Cardano doing so well in the last bull cycle with no features, how well do you think it's going to do this cycle with all these features available? And so this is why I'm still very confident in Cardano's future. It's about real use cases, real utility, real possibilities for the chain to benefit from. And I think it will be seen as an investment vehicle by big investors to a far greater degree than the other chains. They're just sitting on the sidelines at the moment, like the SNEC buyers. Yeah, Barbara, sorry. Let me just get this. Do you like to be called Jane, or do you like to be called Barbara? Because I'd be getting it wrong, I think.
Either is okay. My parents call me Jane.
Okay, let me call you Jane then.
Yeah. So, are there other exchanges on Cardano?
Yeah, so the main exchanges are MinSwap, which is this one, and that's the one that I showed you, that 30% return on stable coins. Then this is the largest one, so they hold the most volume. So 151 million ADA locked up in this platform as a whole.
Because can I
Hmm?
when I go shopping for my crypto, I go to other exchanges. And I've just realized there's a whole bunch of exchanges. But so if this is on Cardano, it makes it easier to buy ADA on there. That would be correct.
Are you buying it with your dollars though, or with your fiat?
Yeah, I suppose I have to figure out if I can actually do any purchasing because I'm in Singapore.
Yeah, so if you've got money in the bank and you want to buy ADA, then yeah, at the moment, really the best way of doing that still through centralized exchanges like Kraken and Binance and those guys, because they have large volume and they have agreements with the banks to let you move your money into them, although the banks don't want you to. With decentralized exchanges, there's no bank attachment equivalent. You have some on-ramping services. So, for example, in your wallet, in your Eternal wallet, you can buy ADA with a credit card. But you're losing. That's a bit more of an expensive way of doing it than doing it through Binance or something like that. So yeah, the cheapest way is still through Binance. Once you've got your ADA, then that's when these decentralized exchanges really come into play, because that's where the opportunity lies to actually make more ADA from your ADA. So yeah, the decentralized exchanges, once you've got onto the chain, you've got MinSwap and Sunday Swap, a very good one. Muesli Swap, that's the oldest one. We've got but all these exchanges, if you're actually just looking to swap tokens and you want the best price available, then most of the volume now goes through a user interface like Dex Hunter, which is a decentralized exchange aggregator. So it will look for the best price, the best swap opportunities across all the exchanges, or all the exchanges that recognize it. So here you can see that Dex Hunter supports Spectrum Finance, Sunday Swap, Wi-Fi. No, that one Spectrum. What's this one then? This is Splash. Sorry, Splash, Spectrum, MinSwap, Axo, Wing Riders, Sunday Swap. So it will look at the best trading opportunities. It's kind of doing a bit of arbitrage across those dexes and make sure you get the best price for whatever swap you're doing. It's the same with Steel Swap, which is another DEX aggregator. It will look across multiple DEXs, order books to find the best swap for your tokens. And so if you are swapping not sure if this will show on here. Yeah, we go.
But then to get to the position of swapping, you need to go to the centralized exchange, send it to what did you say it was? The Axio.
Well,
and then
you would send it once you've sent it from. So, which centralized exchange do you buy your crypto with? Is it Binance or something like that, or?
Mainly, I have one exchange in Singapore that's easy on off ramp. And when I was first learning, I was recommended to use that because it's easy to use in Singapore. But and the exchange rates aren't so bad, but I find it difficult to stand out of that centralized. I usually have to go from there, like Coinbase, then the wallet, and then to somewhere else. So there's lots of fees all the way through.
Yeah. Yeah, so any of those, Coinbase, OKX, Binance. They're all centralized exchanges. And once you've got them into those, once you've managed to swap your dollars for ADA in those exchanges, then each of them should let you send the ADA out to a self-sovereign wallet. So if they let you buy ADA, then they should have a mechanism for letting you send the ADA out of that wallet. And I know we did look at it a little bit. We should perhaps have another session and see if we can finish off the last few dots. But then once it's in your wallet, so once it's in Eternal Wallet, then you can interact with all the exchanges freely and rapidly. But each of these services, so whether you're going direct to exchange like MinSwap or using an aggregator like SteelSwap or DexHunter, they work by letting you attach your Eternal Wallet to them, or your Yoroi wallet or Lace wallet or something like that. And so that's where the power lies. But yeah, getting that hurdle from the banks into crypto land is it's a pain point for us at the moment.
It's just the fees, because like Kraken is USD, so it's got to go from Singapore dollars to USD dollars into Kraken, and then it gets exchanged. Then it goes to another wallet, and in Singapore I can't. I can send to Coinbase because I can send coins to tokens to another exchange, but I can't send it to my own wallet, which doesn't seem right.
Yeah, no, it's not. And
they're just taking fees wherever it goes.
Yeah, and the whole point of DeFi is to avoid those middleman fees. Where
So the thing for me is finding the best exchange where I can put Singapore dollars in there, get what I need, and then go directly to the Axio trade.
Yeah,
and then I can trade there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So once you find an exchange that works in Singapore, they'll let you buy your ADA with dollars, then and let you send that ADA onto another
exchange
DeFi wallet. To a DeFi. So you'd go from I could do with like a whiteboard or something. So you've got your centralized exchange, and they have a relationship with the banks. So you can send your dollars from the banks to centralized exchange. Then the centralized exchange, its job is to let you swap between the dollars that you put in there and another token. So you can take your Singapore dollars and buy ADA. If you've got a good exchange, then they'll let you send that on to anybody on that blockchain, on the ADA blockchain. And so Cardano wallets are where you would send it to. And that would be Eternal. It's the one I recommend. Once you've sent it to Eternal, then you can use any of the services that I speak about. Kraken, sorry, not Kraken, MinSwap and MusicSwap, or DexHunter and SteelSwap. You attach your Eternal wallet, and that's where you can put your ADA then into a smart contract, or carry out swaps and so on and so forth. But yeah, getting that first hurdle off fiat world into crypto is the typical hang up. So I use crypto.com, and I use Binance, and I use Kraken, and all of those work in the UK. All of those will let me send ADA buy ADA with dollars or pounds in my case, and send ADA to my Eternal wallet. Kraken is the one that does it most cheaply for me at the moment. So I will typically send my pounds from the bank to Kraken, and Kraken into ADA, and then ADA to my Eternal wallet, where I can then participate in DeFi. So yeah, getting through those hurdles, then you'll be into this land.
By the way, is a Revolut in it? James, is Revolut in Singapore? Can you have Revolut there?
Say what?
Revolut.
A Revolut operating in Singapore? This is a digital bank. that's very crypto friendly. And so in the UK, it's very straightforward to set up an account.
Yeah, but they're not cheap though. When I was trying to convert ADA, it's very expensive. They are converting crypto is quite expensive. So, but getting money into it is very cheap. But changing money to crypto, they charge arms and length.
Yeah. Can't see. But yeah, they've got a Revolut Singapore. So that could be one to look at for a if you can't just set up an account with Kraken, for example, that could be one to look at. And I'm sure crypto.com operates in, may even be founded in Singapore, or maybe it was Hong Kong, actually, thinking about it. Yeah, but these guys have a purpose and a use. We need to, try and support them with legislature in our countries, protect them from the banks, but also move our money out away from them into self-sovereign wallets. That's if we're going to actually see the revolution in the finance industry that we need, that's what has to happen. I believe. Cool. Okay. One last thing I did want to quick look at as well was ArcFax has a new roadmap. So ArcFax is the Oracle project. Oracles will take real-world data and store it on chain. And once if you trust that source of data, then you can trust the data on the blockchain forever, because that was accurate at the time of being written, and can't be changed after the fact, which is the power of blockchain. And oracles really help us move data from the private realm into the public. And so their roadmap is being updated, revised to show where we're at. ArcFax Oracle, they carried out their research already. They've had version 0, where they provided a mainnet ADA USD price feed. So they were taking the value of ADA in dollars and storing that on chain, writing that onto the blockchain, so that anybody who needed to know the price of ADA to dollars could query the Cardano blockchain directly and get a price. And I think it was like a refreshing owl. So that was their first price feed that was up and running. They've taken it down now because they were upgrading, and some of their infrastructure was too costly to spend time and money upgrading it. So they're now moving to the to look at widening out their feeds to Cardano native tokens, to other tokens. So you'll be able to get ArcFax Oracle price feeds for all the tokens that you're seeing on places like TapTools. So all these other tokens will eventually be supported by ArcFax as well, just in terms of their price feed data. And once they've got that through testing, they will look at reducing the costs of recording those price feeds on chain. They'll create better ways of interrogating and exploring that price data on chain, and then they will pay for an external audit so that third-party developers can come in, look at their code, check it's all solid, and offer any advice, any patches or fixes or vulnerabilities they see. And that's a good way of making sure that you are having stable contracts. And then once they've done that, the decentralized validator network will launch So we are participants in this decentralization branch. So we came in, bought a NFT license to participate as an ArcFax Oracle node. So we'll be running computers that will take the real world information and write it on chain. And we'll be paid for doing that. So we're providing a service to the blockchain. Minted our NFT. We've been through this onboarding now. So we're registered. We've got our I'm in the Discord server as a validator. I've spoken to the team. We have got our we've got our validator license and our FATS tokens staked so that we can earn the maximum return for participating in the incentivized testnet. And you can see that our license is 33. And for the extra FATS tokens that we're holding, that we're staking with them, we are increasing our multiplier when the incentivized testnet starts. So we maxed out our license multiplier, we hit the maximum on our minimum fact multiplier. There was just the average fact multiplier that we're looking to top out. So over the period before the incentivized testnet launches, however the average volume in our wallet is, when it hits 1.5 million average, then we'll get the maximum 20%. And so this figure is slowly creeping up because we started with like 921,000, then we're now up to 1.5 million, 1.521 million. And so we're averaging out over the time period daily, it's changing. So this figure is rising slightly. So we're hoping to get to 20% before the incentive test starts. And then we'll be up with these other 10 guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other 9 guys, 8 guys.
Sorry, are we S33? So are we S33? Is that one that we are in?
Yeah, we're number 33. That's our license. So when we first bought the license, we were like 90, and then we increased the number. And in fact, we were holding, got ourselves up into top 30, 50%. And now in terms of this bonus multiplier, we're now sitting in the top 10. So we're giving ourselves the maximum opportunity to earn from the incentivized testnet. And we've only got a couple of percent to go to have maxed out our potential earnings, which I think is worthwhile doing. If you're going to participate, you might as well get the most out of it that you can. So I'm really, really pleased that we've been able to accrue the FAT tokens that we have. So thanks for participating, everybody. And that means I'll give us the best opportunity to earn when the incentivized testnet does actually start. So we've done the validator onboarding. We're now waiting for the launch of the incentivized testnet. And that's where we'll start earning from that bonus position. And then probably something like 12 months later, that incentivized testnet will stop and we'll have a fully decentralized validator network going on to mainline. And from that point on, the ArcFax project will be a completely decentralized Oracle system, which we don't have in Cardano yet. In fact, I don't know any chains that have it, to be honest. Most oracles are written and run by centralized entities. And so in this ArcFax one, the code, the utility will be designed by the private company, ArcFax, behind it, but the whole network will be run by individual operators like ourselves. So it will be fully decentralized. And smart contracts will be written on chain, so they can't be tampered with after the fact. It'll just be ArcFax adding new feeds, changing what feeds are available, etc., etc. And all of that activity we'll be able to benefit from if we maintain our validator license. So looking forward to this incentivized testnet kicking off, but I'm quite happy to wait while our bonus multiplier is still going up. Want that to get to 20, that'd be great. Does that make sense for everyone? No, but yeah.
Well, what do you mean by feed?
Feed. So
When the feeds go in.
yeah, so the Oracle decentralized Oracle feeds for Cardano smart contracts. So effectively, what's happening is there is real world information, and the easiest one to understand, the most common one that people look for, is the price feed. How much can I sell my ADA for in dollars? So like we just take that information quite readily from so Tap Tools will tell us the price of Nike and ADA, and up here it shows you the ADA price in dollars, so 0.385. If you're going to sell one ADA, you'll get $0.385 on average across all the different marketplaces that you can sell your ADA in. And that price has been decided or been taken as an average by the Tap Tools team. So that's one private company saying that's the value that we think we can sell your ADA for, or you can sell your ADA for. And that information is available publicly, but it's not written into the blockchain. So on this hour, on this day, that's the price that you can trade with, but it's not known in perpetuity. So it gets written into the blockchain because the blockchain will last forever. And so we can always know that the price on this day and this time is this much, 0.38. And so Orcfax will take the price that Tap Tools give us maybe, and the price that Kraken, which is a centralized exchange, gives us for $8 pairing. We could take a price from Binance and say this is the average, and we're now going to take that price at this point in time on this day and write that into a price feed on the blockchain itself. And then anybody who runs an application who needs to know the price of ADA at this point in time on this day can go back and find it. And so the Oracle feeds are actually being written into pieces of data, pieces of metadata on the blockchain itself. And this is a blockchain explorer created by the Orcfax team to let you see the price feed data as it was written into the blockchain. So it's paused now, but you can see the last one was written in on May 15th, where one ADA was worth $0.447. And so that information is going to be there on the blockchain forever. And if we look at the full fact statement, that will show us the data that was actually written onto the blockchain. So it is, the blockchain is now storing this information, which has got a whole load of metadata about the source of the data. And for example, this price pair written by Orcfax, and the price was averaged from Bitstamp, Coinbase, Kraken, Qcoin, Bitfinex, HitBTC. So that price that we're seeing up here, $0.447, that's an average of the prices as seen across all these different points who offer that price. So these are all centralized exchanges. And so you could sell your ADA on those marketplaces for that many dollars. And that information is really important for creating applications with. Because if I've got a trading platform like Axo or MinSwap, and I want to know the price that I should be selling my ADA for, then I can refer to Orcfax's feed rather than my own one, which may only be looking at, say, the price on Coinbase. Actually, I could go and get it from Orcfax and get the price from six different exchanges in one hit, and that means it's got a very high trust rating in terms of accuracy of data. And also you've got all this, data in and around those properties, Bitfinex's exact price response from the query that you made to them, which servers it came from, which pieces of the internet and the blockchain infrastructure were interacted with. So you've got full transparency, full data around that price information. So you know that this is a very trustworthy source of data that you can go back and interrogate later. And so that's a really important thing for exchanges to be able to have. For example, as a trader, if you're saying, okay, I'm going to lend ADA to this person for this much money, they're putting up some collateral, and if the price of ADA drops below this certain point, then as a lender, I will take their collateral and they don't, and they'll lose that collateral that they put up. So that collateral could be worth, let's imagine it's gold. Say they're giving you an ounce of gold, and they're borrowing $1 million of ADA from you. Whatever. Then they're then hoping that the price of ADA doesn't drop, because if it does, then they'll lose their gold, and if the price doesn't, goes up, then they'll be able to sell their ADA back to you, and get their gold back out, as well as the profit they've made from the ADA in the meantime. That's what they're hoping to happen. And so the price of that ADA, if it did drop, that would be a bad thing. And so you need to make sure that price is accurate. But if you're just dealing with a single entity, like if you were just getting the price from Tap Tools, if they had a momentary technical glitch, or someone tampered with the feed somehow, or there was an internet outage, and the price suddenly got reported, instead of being 0.447 ADA, dollars per ADA, it got reported just for that 1 second in that 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day, as 0.01 US dollars for some reason, for whatever reason, then anybody who had got bonds or were lending their ADA out, and that price of ADA, as reported by that one fee, dropped 100 times, then all those loans and bonds would be liquidated, and the gold collateral that was being put up would be handed over. And so if you're trusting, like Optim Finance that we were looking at, or MinSwap, if you're putting bonds together and loans, then you need to have really reliable, trustworthy sources of data. Otherwise, your loans could get liquidated, and you could lose your collateral. And so the validity, the stability of these price feeds is really crucial. And so by creating a fully decentralized, untamperable, trustworthy source of data, you're actually really adding value to the blockchain in a significant way, and people will pay for that. And so that's what we're hoping to benefit from, that trustworthiness. And Peter van Garderen, who was the founder of this ArcFact project, he's a data storage specialist in the traditional industries. So he knows how to maintain historical data in a really secure, robust way, long term, and making sure it's got all the information around it to be sure that data is accurate, and can be tracked and traced and debugged if there is ever a problem. So we can analyze exactly what went wrong with that price point, and whether it would and ameliorate any issues that might rise from that. So yeah, it's a good.
So then is the validating and the blockchain, that's really like a big, it's like a ledger, right? Is that what it is? Like, and it's a ledger that's high speed, and there's a few validators that have to check, yeah, that's okay, that So yeah, okay. So it's a ledger. Don't understand a bit more.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting it. And the beauty of this ledger is that it's just like you'd maintain a ledger, paper ledger in a factory floor or something like that. It's now just taking that, making it digital, putting it onto the blockchain, and that now once you write, anybody can write into that ledger, and once it's been written in there, nobody can change it. So Someone can't come along with TipX and erase it and change the price. It's there forever. And so long as there is a single Cardano node, then that data can be trusted. And it doesn't have to be price. It could be, staff check-ins to a factory floor. It could be the location of a taxi in an Uber app. It could be, the collection point for a glass recycling provider. All that data could be then written into a source of truth that is untamperable, and will last, as long as we have electricity and the internet. That's how long the blockchain will be stored. So, that's a pretty good store of value for a source of truth for data to be stored in. And the fact that anybody can read from it and nobody can tamper with it means that it's very trustworthy. It's ideal for price data because we're all trading between each other. And so that's an important thing. Because the way markets often are made, when you can get something slightly cheaper over here than you can over here. And so you'll buy it there and sell it over there. And so that will then change the price. Or say, if it's cheaper over there, we better adjust our prices down a bit. And these will say, well, if we can get more for it, so we'll adjust our prices up. And that's where the price sort of evens out. And so that's all happening all the time. And actually, if we've got all these price changes being written into the blockchain, then you can know it's trustworthy, and you can adjust your prices according to that single that source of truth that's aggregated from multiple sources, rather than just trying to look at your neighbor and see if it, because there's always going to be someone offering something cheaper somewhere else. But yeah, it's a very good fundamental utility that's needed by the blockchain. And if you think that blockchain is the future, then this is a good opportunity to become a participant in it. So yeah, hopefully it works. But again, it's startup technology. You can never be 100% on anything. You just got to make your best guess and invest. But hopefully we've made some good decisions. Cool. Oh yeah. So back to our original, looking at the fun side of crypto, meme coins. There's one video here that you can go and have a look at if you want to see Charles Hoskinson's take on the original, the source of this meme coin that's now worth $12 million, and the fact that he's got nothing to do with it other than he posted a picture of a pig. But yeah, that's an interesting video to watch. I don't know.
This pig is falling apart.
Whether it'll come across all right.
I'll tell you this story. Let me tell you this story. So, years ago, a friend of mine said, hey, there's this poor abused pig, lives in an apartment. The owner is feeding it bacon every day, very unhealthy. I mean, this pig is falling apart. I said, would you want the pig? I said, well, I don't really have a room for the pig. I'll take the pig. All right. So I look around, I convert one of my stables into a place for the pig, and I give him a heat lamp and all this other shit. Now he just made friends with everybody. He knows the mini donkeys, he knows the chickens. He's got like the best life a pig could ever have. So I got sent a picture of the pig while I'm up here in Gillette. So I tweet it. The minute I tweet it, they create a damn meme coin of my pig, Nike. And this thing goes parabolic. It's trading millions of dollars a day, gets up to like $7.5 million valuation. The people are fucking making memes. They created a Twitter account for the pig. I think the pig's been cast for a movie. I mean, shit's gone nuts. And so this is like my first real introduction to meme coins. Remember, I was in your space day. I had meme coins. I don't know how they work. I'm like, okay, this is the power of meme coins. There we have people in Solana being like, how do I get some Nike? I hate ADA. I hate Cardano, but I like the pig. So there you go.
All right.
There we go. So there's a whole load of insanity out there. It makes no sense. But people have money to spend in this ecosystem. And when you see prices drop, don't panic. Stay strong. Think about the utility that we're able to see within the blockchain, the value that's there. And then let's follow the trend slowly upwards with our investments. And that seems to be, to me, that makes perfect sense. All this insanity is just marketing for the blockchain. It'll get more people interested. We'll let that play out over there, while we just stay sensible and doing our thing over here. Oh, and in fact, there was one thing. So as a ADA holder now, and you are interested in governance, there's an important vote going on at the moment. I can't think what the URL is. Let me just try and find it. So we've got the governance era of Cardano happening at the moment, where the control of the parameters of the blockchain at the moment in the hands of the three founding entities, IOG, Emergo, and Cardano Foundation, and they're being handed over to the community. The community is going to be forming multiple governance structures, one of which is delegated representatives. So anybody can stand as a delegated representative. People can apply their vote power to that delegated representative, a bit like a politician, and that politician will vote on their behalf within the constitution, improve decisions that we're trying to make as a new ecosystem. And there's going to be a constitutional committee, which is going to be formed by effectively elected people, get onto that position, and they will then propose changes to the blockchain parameters and be responsible for making those changes and actually holding the keys to the ability to make these changes. And then we'll also have delegate constitution committee and members-based organizations. So one of these members-based organizations at the moment is Intersect, another one is Pragma, and they will have a participating voice in the governance as well. Now, whilst at the moment everything is as it has been for the past several years, and the keys are in the hands of those founding entities, we are getting closer to the point where the keys are handed over. And so one of the first things to do, one of the first voting opportunities to participate in this ecosystem, this new governance, community managed ecosystem, is we're going to have an interim constitutional committee. So before we actually have one that's voted in by a very rigorous structure, we're going to have one that's just very small, and there are people that put their name forward who have a certain degree of awareness, a massive amount of awareness of the ecosystem, and have a large amount of followers potentially, and who have got good intentions toward the blockchain. They're big investors in the blockchain, and so that interim constitutional committee is being forged at the moment. People have put their names forward, and we have the opportunity to vote for them. So one of my stake pool operator friends, Rich from Earn Coin Pool, has put his name forward as a potential candidate for the interim constitutional committee, and we are now able to vote in this as an ADA holder. So we've got this platform that is created from Summon that I showed you a few weeks back. So the Summon technology is underlying this platform. These are the candidates from around the world that have put their names forward to participate. And you can pick 6 candidates from this list to vote for, as you want to be members of the constitutional committee, this interim constitutional committee, which only run for a short period of time. And then the top 3 out of, aggregated from everybody's votes, will actually go on to be members of that constitutional committee. So the ones I would encourage you to go and research all these candidates. And there's a sort of wiki here that shows you the candidates and give you a bit of information about them. Actually, no, I'll just go back. So you can see their names here. And you can see their country of residence, what their abilities are, and their little personal statements. Read through each of these. There's not that many. It'd be a good thing to do, read through each of them. And then if there's any candidates you think are particularly of interest to you, go maybe do a bit more research, try and find them on Twitter, ask some questions directly. That's how we really get good governance, is by asking questions. And see, you know, which candidates, which six of these you would want to vote for, to see represent you on this constitutional committee. And these guys will have a certain amount of responsibility going forward for this interim period before a properly voted one in comes in. And their voices will become powerful, will become important. So do choose carefully, and do choose, because if you don't, it'll be left up to just the highest profile people who will take it all. So the ones that I can say I'm aware of and I know have interacted with personally are Johnny Kelly. He's in Ireland, and I sat in a governance workshop with him looking at delegate representatives. Switched on guy, speaks very well and very enthusiastic, maybe a little too enthusiastic, but he's also heavily involved in SanchoNet and building out the tools there. He's also a stake pool operator. Another guy I know is Lloyd Duhon in the US. He's been heavily involved in Project Catalyst. He's on the Drip Drops team and is a very shrewd thinker. I like the way he talks, the way he presents. I've been in after town halls with him. It's a good guy, knows his stuff, and I believe he has a good heart for Cardano, and contributes a lot. We've also got Rich Mandarino, stake pool operator in the Extra Stake Small Stake Pool Alliance. I really respect him for his enthusiasm and his commitment to saying the difficult things in public, challenging the status quo. He wants to see decentralization improved in Cardano. That's one of his heavy sort of mandates. And so he's looking to increase K to 1,000 to get more stake pool operators sustainable within the ecosystem. Good guy. Another one I know is Tivo Sachs, who I really rate. Great guy, knows an awful lot, and contributes so much time and effort to the Cardano ecosystem. It's crazy. He's part of Treasury Guild, heavily involved in Project Catalyst. He's a founder, old OG in Catalyst Swarm that I'm also in, and has worked tirelessly on Miro boards, bringing those to the Cardano community. A really good guy. He's also heavily involved in Singularity Net and now Unifiers, Polkadot. So a real cross-chain guy as well. So yeah, good head to have in there. These are the guys I know personally, I've interacted with personally. The others all need looking at as well, but I can't tell you anything about those. But yeah, once you've had a look through those, come back to this voting board and pick 6 candidates. Connect your wallet. That'll be with your Eternal wallet. Switch on the DApp connector. Connect your wallet and then cast a vote. It'll cost you, 5p or something to cast that vote, but you're then participating in the governance of the blockchain at a really important level. And I stress this: if you want to create a system that is going to be healthy, it's going to be different to the political system we have currently, and different to the banking system we have currently, then voting in votes like this, where you're getting to pick the people, is crucial. If we can't get this right at this early stage of it, then it's never going to grow to the point and grow healthy to the point that it can replace voting systems in nations. And that's ultimately what we want for Cardano. We want it to become the voting platform of choice for nation states. And we know that there are several US states talking with Cardano Foundation about Cardano as a potential technological platform for voting. Charles has been in contact with Robert Kennedy Jr., presidential candidate. And, that's only, awareness of Cardano and its abilities at the highest level. We've got Mauro. I don't know if he's on one of the candidates. I thought perhaps he was, but Mauro from Argentina. Yes, he is. Mauro as well is a law student. He's graduated now. He's passed. Really switched on guy. Very pro Cardano. Really enthusiastic. Good business brain. I've been in his workshops where he's talked about trying to help small businesses grow, and I think that's really important if we're going to see a change in the system. So Mara's another good guy that I have interacted with, and he is got contacts and brought Cardano Foundation into meetings with heads of state in Argentina, and yeah, would be a great guy to have representing us as well. And yeah, we want these kinds of people we know, people we've seen operate and can trust in these places of power, over and above the most popular YouTuber or the guy who created Nike the pig meme coin. We want big thinkers, intelligent people with compassion and with heart for seeing wealth spread to the edges and empowering the little guy. So yeah, all those guys, I'm very happy to see them putting their names forward, and yeah, placing a vote in here is a really good thing to do. So all the links, all the notes, I'll gather and put them on the Discord server as I do each time. But yeah, if you ever want to do anything on my say so, then this is one thing I'd really like you to do. Just come in here, pick some names, do a bit of research, and place a vote. And I think that's a really important thing to us to do as an ecosystem, much more than buying some pig tokens. Cool. Well, I think we'll wrap up there. Barbara, it'd be great to carry on with you after this call, perhaps if you've got some time, just to have a quick catch up. Not today. Okay. Let's maybe we could do 5 minutes just to pick another opportunity to get together and talk. But yeah, I'll end the call here, and thanks for joining. Be back again next week. Let me stop the recording.